Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning. We made it to Tuesday, August 5th, and a lot of districts going back to school. We have Lavernia ISD already back at school.
Uvalde tomorrow. We said East Central on Thursday.
On Thursday.
And then the large San Antonio districts on Monday. And so it begins.
Yes, it does. So we hope you have everything you need. And if you don't, this weekend is tax-free
weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Hopefully you're set to go. Let's check out live cam outside right now. And then we'll show you what it looks like outside right now. Not too bad, but I know we've been flirting with triple-digit heat here. And, of course, as Seth mentioned, Justin, tax-free weekend is coming up, and people, I guess, need to know the weather for that too.
Oh, for sure. And you know what? It stresses me out a little bit. Like, I don't think I have to do that much back-to-school shopping, but
yeah,
I don't know what it is. Maybe it goes back to being in school back in the day.
I think we all have a little bit of that.
It's a lot.
Yes.
The aisles are crowded, and you have to buy 12 pencils. It's very specific.
Number two pencils.
Number
yes,
two
exactly.
only. Let's take a look at the temperatures outside. 80 degrees at the airport right now, 70 in Kerrville, 79 Hondo. We actually got off to a great start, guys. It was in the low 70s for a time. Felt pretty good. Humidity levels were a little lower this morning, but these numbers are going to start to leap up pretty quickly. Already have, now that we're in the 80s here in San Antonio, and we'll be near 90 by noontime. 96, 2 o'clock, 98 is your high temperature today. Heat index 100 plus. This is a very typical summer day here in South Texas. Here's a look at the forecast heat index, 102. San Antonio, 101, Pleasanton. Yes, typical, you know, what we would become accustomed to here in early August. But when do things start to change? When do we get our first cold front? Yeah, we can look at the numbers on average and get an average date. We'll show that to you because we'd all love some relief in the form of a cold front. That's coming up here in just a few minutes, guys.
We look forward to that, and we hope for an earlier cold front, but we'll see. But for now, outside with TransGuide, things are moving over there at I-35 at South Cross, and it doesn't appear to be any serious problems on the TxDOT page, just some normal construction spots like the one we know right there at I-10.
Several Texas Democratic lawmakers are still out of the state this morning after leaving over the weekend in an effort to stop Texas Republicans from moving forward with a plan backed by President Trump to change the state's congressional map.
So it is important to note this is within the law to do this, and states usually redraw congressional district boundaries once every 10 years after the release of updated census population data. Now, the political battle in Texas has big repercussions, though, in Washington, where House Republicans enter a challenging midterm in 2026 with a very thin majority. Republicans argue the Texas redistricting effort is a response to Democratic partisan gerrymandering.
Quite frankly, California is more gerrymandered than the maps that we're talking about today in Texas. All the other Democrat states are doing it. The state of Texas should as well.
We're going to fight fire with fire, and we're going to do everything we can right now to stand up against this unconstitutional power grab.
Well, in California, Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom said if Texas Republicans move forward with redistricting, he would aim to put a new congressional map before California voters in the November special election.
All right, back here in our area, in the months since the deadly hill country floods demolished parts of Kirk County, we've learned a lot about the emergency response the morning of July 4th and the emergency alert system. River Inn General Manager Scott Towery was credited with alerting guests to the rising floodwaters that would soon wreck the resort in Hunt. But he says a notification was delivered to his phone after the water had already begun to recede.
5:30 in the morning is when we got our first alert. Hours into this that was upsetting.
Despite the fact that Kirk County has used the Code Red emergency alert system for 16 years, when a rescuer called for one to go out that fateful morning, he was told that sending the alert would require a higher up to sign off. That led to a more than 1 hour delay before alerts finally went out.
Is there any way we can send a code red out to our Hunt residents asking them to find higher ground?
10-4 standby. We have to get that approved with our supervisor.
So internal Kerrville emails revealed the city's off-duty firefighters were not called to their respective stations until just before 9 a.m., hours after it had already become a catastrophic flooding event. For a full look at the timeline and what else we've learned about that morning, you can scan the QR code at the bottom of the screen or just go to KSAT.com.
Well, yesterday's Kirk County Commissioners Court meeting, members discussed a proposed budget for the 2025-2026 fiscal year. And it found the flood recovery will end up costing them. Well, it includes $400,000 on cost for autopsies, about $10 million on road repairs, which is what FEMA is estimating. They're also looking at $2 million in lost revenue from taxes on properties that will not be collected as a result of the disaster. They are considering adding more positions to the sheriff's department. So this is still in the works, but they are looking at $71 million in total expenses with a $12.5 million deficit in next year's budget. So they say they are not considering a tax rate increase, but they are considering giving employees a raise.
Well, meanwhile, donation efforts of all sizes are happening across the state to help the victims of the flood.
That's right. And this morning we are taking you to Bernie, where a 9-year-old girl has collected thousands of dollars. So meet Grayson Gonzalez. She's the soon-to-be 4th grader making keychains to collect donations for animals affected by the Hill Country floods. So all the money she makes will go to Kerrville Pets Alive, and they're a group taking care of animals after the flooding.
And I wanted to do something. I wanted to help. And so I thought I could make little keychains.
Good.
As the orders continue to roll in, Grayson says she's glued to her chair. Part of her inspiration for wanting to donate to Kerrville Pets Alive is because she has her own dog, Boo, you see there, from San Antonio Pets Alive. So we've heard from a lot of people who are looking for resources to support themselves after the flooding. And if you're one of those people, FEMA is still accepting applications. Eligible survivors can get support for things like rent, home repairs, food, water, and personal hygiene items, fuel for transportation, and funeral expenses.
Well, after applying, people should get a letter from FEMA with more information. And the quickest way to apply to FEMA is online at disasterassistance.gov, and survivors can also use the FEMA mobile app, or they can call that FEMA helpline. So if you need immediate help and you are in Kerr County, you can go to the Disaster Recovery Center, and that is still located at the First Baptist Church at 625 Washington Street. It is open every day from 8 to 7. And Hill Country flood survivors have until Thursday, September 4th, to apply for FEMA disaster assistance.
A reminder, a Together for Texas benefit concert will take place August 18th to help Texas Hill Country communities recovering from the recent floods. The show will be held at the Tobin Center here in San Antonio.
So all proceeds will go to local flood relief efforts supporting towns like Kerrville and Comfort. And tickets start at $35. And you can also catch the concert live on KSAT 12, KSAT Plus, and also online. All right, here's today's 9 at 9. The Justice Department looking to make public some transcripts of grand jury testimony against Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. According to a court filing, the transcripts include 5 days of presentations, 2 in front of the Epstein grand jury and 3 in front of the Maxwell grand jury. Now, this is the latest step that the DOJ has made to make public some of the millions of records amassed during the Epstein investigation. Additional filings are expected later today.
A top economist says the U.S. might be teetering on the edge of a recession, with consumer spending stalling and job growth slowing. July's unemployment rate ticked up to 4.2%, and only 73,000 jobs were added. The government also revised May and June numbers, showing over 250,000 fewer jobs than first reported. President Trump responded by firing the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, claiming that the data was manipulated.
The U.S. government will soon stop sending out paper checks for federal payments, and that includes to Social Security beneficiaries as part of an effort to fully modernize federal benefits payments, save money, and fight financial fraud. So more than 500,000 recipients will need to choose another way to receive their Social Security benefits, either direct deposit or a prepaid debit card known as Direct Express. This starts on September 30th.
Millions of people with student loans enrolled in the SAVE plan are starting to accrue interest again. The Department of Education halted loan cancellation for income-based repayment following court rulings that block key parts of the plan. Borrowers had been in no interest forbearance since last summer, but now face rising balances and potentially thousands more in annual payments.
Well, a judge says that Sean Diddy Combs cannot go home from jail to await sentencing on his prostitution-related conviction. The judge issued a decision yesterday to deny the rap and style mogul's latest bid for bail. Combs has been in jail since his arrest in September. He faced federal charges of coercing girlfriends into having drug-fueled sex marathons with other men. He was acquitted last month of the top charges, which were racketeering and sex trafficking.
Some doctors say you may want to reach for something other than Benadryl. In a review published earlier this year, allergy experts from 2 universities say the medication is outdated and dangerous. They also say there are safer alternatives on the market, such as Claritin and Allegra. The review notes that Benadryl and other drugs with the same active ingredient can cause sedation, cognitive impairment, and in some cases, dangerous cardiac effects.
Well, as NASA plans a return to the moon, one big question remains: how will astronauts get power up there? So with 2 weeks of darkness each month, solar energy won't cut it. So now NASA is fast-tracking plans to build a nuclear reactor on the lunar surface by 2030.
Well, today is predicted to be slightly less than 24 hours by more than 1 millisecond. Shorter days have occurred a few times this year already. Scientists say the reason that the Earth is spinning faster is likely due to changes in the Earth's core and atmospheric influences. The discrepancies, though marginal, could eventually affect computers, satellites, and telecommunications that rely on precise timekeeping.
All right, Doritos introducing what it hopes will be the next Cool Ranch. It has released its golden sriracha flavor. So sriracha is a chili sauce often associated with Thai and Vietnamese food. The company says its golden sriracha took about 2 years to develop. Interesting. Yeah, I hadn't seen Doritos in a yellow bag before.
I'm kind of I kind of stick to the
basics.
Standard cheddar,
Yeah.
the cheese ones, but open to trying that once.
We'll see. Maybe
We'll find out.
Maybe we'll change it up.
A little research. All right, 9:09 right now, 80 degrees outside, still ahead on GMSA at 9.
The first day of school, almost here for a lot of students. After the break, some things you and the family can do to be prepared for that first day of class.
All right, 9:13 now on this Tuesday. Summer fun may still be going strong, but that first day back to school is just around the corner.
Yes, and a little planning now can save a lot of stress later. So our Devin Karp found some ways to help the kiddos and parents feel ready and excited about the new school year.
Summer might not be officially over, but school principal Mark Cernatinger is already working to make the first day back to school smooth for everyone.
As a principal and as a dad, I know how hectic that first week of school can be.
Morning, boys. Welcome back to school.
So it really helps to have a routine in place to reduce stress.
One of the most important steps, getting back on a regular sleep schedule. You can help your child get ready by moving their bedtime about 15 minutes earlier each night until they reach their regular school routine.
Try to shut down screens at least an hour before bed. Both the light from screens and the stimulation from devices may make it harder to fall asleep and worsen sleep quality.
Simple steps like picking outfits the night before and starting the day with a healthy breakfast can help kids feel calm and focused throughout the day.
Having a nutritious breakfast that includes lean protein, whole grains, fruit, or even vegetables can help keep blood sugar levels steady, so your child can concentrate better and have more energy throughout the day.
Same goes for lunch. Try sliced grilled chicken on whole grain bread, baby carrots, and some berries with water to drink. Make sure your kids are up to date on their wellness visits, sports physicals, and vaccines. If they're starting middle school, they may need TDAP, HPV, and meningococcal shots. And don't forget the flu shot, best before the end of October. And if you're worried about the first day jitters, visiting the school early or planning a play date with a friend from their new class can help ease the nerves. Another tip, having a healthy after-school routine can make a big difference. Make sure to set aside some time for a healthy snack, homework, and some play or downtime can all help kids find a balance. I'm Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
So speaking of back to school, here is a list of the days most of the schools in our area are headed back to class. So as you can see, First Air Uvalde and East Central start this week. And then next week on Monday, a bunch of schools start, including Northeast ISD and Northside ISD.
So throughout the rest of next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, most school districts are welcoming students back to the classroom as well. The next week after that, a few more go back, including New Braunfels, Somerset, and Edgewood ISDs. We do have a complete list of back-to-school dates right now at KSAT.com.
And speaking of back to school, we have some pictures to show you. So yesterday on GMSA, we announced the winner of our GMSA Back to School sweepstakes.
So another big congratulations to Diana Palacios, the winner of that $500 gift card. And we just happened to be here to take a picture with her. She's a mom of 3 kiddos. And of course, she's got a shop for them. So congrats to all of us from here at GMSA. And hopefully we've made her shopping a little bit more easy this year. Yeah,
I think so. She said she was very excited about it because, like you said, she has 3 kids, and then especially like the little ones, kind of hard to shop for. And she says she will be doing some shopping for the tax-free weekend.
Yeah,
it gets pricey.
Yes, it
does. It all starts to add up. So I really do hope that helps. School's back.
All right, but before school's back, SA Live is back in about 44 minutes from now. Didn't mean to interrupt, ladies. We didn't mean to interrupt.
Before
this is new, right?
Yeah.
It's a first.
Gracious, I feel overdressed.
I don't think we've ever done this before.
Goodness.
I love the PJs.
We got to keep doing this now.
Yeah, literally got to keep doing this. It's a sleepover.
Well, yes. And today is our fabulous SA Live sleep show, right, Jada?
We made it, yes. And we have a question of the day that we want to ask you guys, which is how many hours of sleep do you guys get?
That's funny. You're very funny, ladies. That's very funny.
People.
Yes.
What is sleep?
I'm probably in the 5 to 6 hour range. On a work night, obviously. Yeah.
I used to be like 4 to 5.
Yeah.
Now I'm like 6 to 7. Although last night, for some reason, I got 3 just because I couldn't sleep.
No.
But that's just, it doesn't happen all the time.
Okay.
So
I'm probably about 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6. So
If
6
I'm lucky.
seems to be
Yeah.
that magic number.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
yeah, it's different for the morning cruise.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, it can be.
But maybe Hello Kitty pajamas will help us.
I got to tell you, they're extremely comfortable, and I want to do the show like this every day.
No,
This
same.
is the pajamas.
Thing we're going to try.
Yes. Shout out to Walmart.
Yes, and we have a fun packed show with tips on how to help you sleep and so many things that you maybe didn't know that can help, right, Judah?
Absolutely. It's jam-packed with a lot of information, you guys, so make sure you tune in.
I'll be on
Okay.
it. We can't wait. Thank you,
Thanks, guys.
I love that. Well, you love, obviously, you're a resident Hello Kitty fan
Yes,
here.
I just thought it was like, oh, this is so cute.
Yeah.
We need to do that too.
We'll see. Okay.
Well, see, the minute that my head hits pillow, I'm out.
Yeah.
It doesn't take long.
Mostly.
No kidding.
Same here.
Yeah. All right. Let's take a look at the average temperatures for the year. And yes, we're starting back to school, and back to school is always hot here around San Antonio. But I will tell you that we have reached the pinnacle, the peak of average temperatures. So this time of year, right where we are right now, is where we experience our hottest temperatures. We average the hottest temperatures. And keep in mind, it's not the summer solstice where that happens. The heat lags. So early August is where we peak. Now, once we get into late August, we start to go down the hill and we start to see temperatures on average fall. Doesn't mean that they will. It doesn't always work out perfectly that way, but we start to get some fronts. And speaking of that, when do we see our first cold front? Well, this is kind of hard to quantify. It depends on what you want to define as a front. But what I did is I put the thresholds at a low temperature under 65, a high temperature under 90, and a dew point under 60. I think those are kind of good numbers to have a quote-unquote decent front. If you use those standards and you look at September, we've had a front as early as September 6th, as late in September is 27th. That was in 2022. And we've had some fronts that hold off until October. All that to say, it's either going to be September or October. If you look over the last 10 years, it was one of the two, sometime in September or early October. And if you average it all out, it's late September. So just to kind of cut through all the math here, we got to wait probably another month before we're going to be talking about any sort of cold fronts. Certainly not any in the forecast anytime soon. And the high temperatures today, well, awful hot. Our heat high has decided to make a return, and it's going to stay this week. This heat high had been kind of shifty, had been moving around. Not today and not this week. It stays put, and that's going to keep temperatures pretty toasty across the state. 98 today. At least we're not, in Phoenix, where it's supposed to be 110 this afternoon. Pretty brutal. But a lot of heat here across parts of the desert Southwest and Texas, for that matter, as this heat high, as I said, doesn't really move that much this week. If anything, it shifts a little bit closer to us by Thursday and Friday, and that's going to keep temperatures probably near 100. We may be upper 90s today, but I think next few days you're going to see those numbers drift up above the triple-digit mark. So by 3 o'clock, 97, 98 at 4 o'clock, that is our high. But it is important to point out that the heat index is going to be 100 plus. Here's what I'm thinking for heat indices across the area today. 102 in San Antonio. This is at 5 o'clock, by the way. 101 New Braunfels, 104 Gonzales, 105 Cotulla. As high as 107 for your feels like number there in Carrizo Springs. So hot, yes. 99 tomorrow. Very small chance of a shower along the coast. 100 Thursday, 101 Friday. Triple digits this weekend. Back to school for some on Monday, and it will be extremely hot. And, we always talk about the old school slides. Remember those?
Sure.
Made of metal. get like 8-degree burns.
Burn your
Yeah.
behind
Be careful on those playground equipment, especially if the slide is metal.
Yes,
It's a great
a lot of them have been updated. So
This is
yes,
sure.
not
That
as
is old
bad.
school. That was back in our day.
We're aging ourselves, yes. Okay, very good. We'll be back with more GMSA at 9.
Welcome back. It's 9:25. Well, mental health guardrails coming to ChatGPT. So OpenAI says it is improving the chatbot's ability to detect emotional distress. The move comes amid reports that the bot feeds people's delusions. So reminders for users to take a break will also be introduced.
Used cars are now on Amazon. The company is expanding its online dealership. It will now include used and certified pre-owned vehicles. Right now, the service is only available if you live in Los Angeles. It's expected to expand to other cities in the coming months. Does the car show up in a box?
That'd be nice.
I don't know. We'll see. It's in Los Angeles right now. We'll be right back.
Well, welcome back. It's almost 9:30 and a 20-year-old is dead after an overnight crash on the city's west side. So San Antonio police say a driver on a motorcycle was speeding down General McMullen when a woman in a sedan pulled into the intersection at Wallace Street. So police say that car clipped the bike, sending the rider crashing. Now, he was pronounced dead at the scene by EMS, and family members arrived shortly after. Police say the driver of that car is not facing charges. And this would make the 6th death from a motorcycle accident in San Antonio since last Sunday. So San Antonio police posted these safety reminders to their Facebook yesterday, and they are important to remember. So starting with the first one, share the road with motorcyclists, follow all traffic laws, wear protective gear, stay visible and avoid those blind spots, and be mindful of weather conditions. And last, report unsafe racing or speeding.
San Antonio police are still looking for 4 men who stole money from a worker as he was restocking an ATM just southwest of downtown. So this happened yesterday in a parking lot on South Zarzamora, just north of Highway 90. Police say the worker was servicing that ATM, and when he opened it, the 4 men rolled up and demanded he get out of the way. Police say the criminals took off with the cash boxes from the ATM. Officers found the boxes along Zarzamora Street, but of course they did not have money in them.
Well, Metro Health has confirmed that West Nile virus in Bexar County, so found in a mosquito trap on the north side near West Avenue and Blanco Road. Authorities now plan to spray that area. So far this year, 9 people have tested positive for West Nile virus. And leaders are telling people to take the normal precautions like eliminating standing water around their homes, using insect repellent, and wearing protective clothing, especially at dawn and at dusk.
All right, live cam on this Tuesday. We mentioned earlier, Lavernia has already started school, so sending best wishes to all the kiddos and the educators and the administrators. Everybody starting the new school year here, and I guess the class of 2026 as well.
Those first day jitters probably starting to pick up a little bit, and it's going to be very summer-like as we start school really in all locations. And let me show you why. You look at the big picture here. There's our heat high. Everything is being deflected out away from it. And yesterday we were kind of in the line of fire, so to speak, where we had some storms come down from North Texas. That is not the case today. We've got some sinking air now that is moving in from the west. All the activity you're going to find is going to be along the east coast, where we have showers and storms stretching from New Orleans up to Atlanta in the nation's capital this morning. But generally, Texas is quiet. Pollen count is in. Molds are moderate at 830. These are down a little bit from where they were last couple of days where we had high counts. Even so, molds continue to be a bit of a problem this summer. Our forecast today, 96 at 2 o'clock, 98 high temperature around 4 or 5 o'clock, and then down to 97 at 6 p.m. Mostly clear skies all day long. Guys.
Thank you, Justin. Let's look out there with our TransGuide cameras and some of the places around town looking good there at I-35 at Zarzamora. At the TxDOT website, things are looking good so far. Just the normal construction spots, and of course the one at I-35 at Laredo Street northbound. Not on your screen, but construction there holding things up. Well, how much revenue have tariffs made for the U.S., and how are Americans feeling about grocery prices?
Those are just some of the questions being answered today in our Money Matters segment. Here's Maribel Aber with a breakdown.
Let's break it down. The U.S. collected more than $29 billion in tariff revenue in July. That was the highest monthly total so far this year. It also pushed the total tariff revenue collected this year to more than $152 billion, according to the Treasury Department. The tariff revenue is collected by the U.S. from American businesses, but in some cases, companies will pass along the fees in the form of higher prices for consumers. Speaking of, if the cost of groceries has been stressing you out, you're not alone. There's a new poll that shows the majority of Americans adults are worried about prices in the supermarket. 53% of those surveyed said the cost of groceries was a major source of stress in their lives. Another 33% said the prices were a minor source of stress, according to the poll from the Associated Press. And the next biggest stressor, the cost of housing. 47% described that as a major source of stress. American Eagle Outfitters shares got a boost yesterday from President Trump. Now, the stock soared more than 23% after, again, Trump weighed in on the Sydney Sweeney Has Great Jeans ad campaign. In a social media post, Trump called the Great Jeans ad the, quote, hottest ad out there. He said the ad has led to American Eagle jeans, quote, flying off the shelves. But even with yesterday's gains, the stock is down 21% on the year. The company lost $85 million in its most recent quarter as sales fell.
Well, house hunters are getting a bit of a break, and mortgage rates have dropped to their lowest levels in 10 months. And the average rate for a 30-year mortgage is now down to just under 6.6%.
The slide coming after last week's weaker than expected jobs report, but potential home buyers are still facing record high home prices.
Well, tax-free weekend almost here now. So for those looking to get all the back-to-school shopping done.
Our digital journalist Ivan Herrera has a look at what you need to know before you head to the stores.
Tax-free weekend is happening this week in Texas. Here's what you need to know to maximize your savings.
From August 8th through the 10th, ditch the sales tax on clothing, footwear, school supplies, and backpacks under $100. Whether you're shopping in store, online, or even ordering by phone call, as long as you purchase during the holiday, you'll qualify for the tax exemption. Even if your items arrive later, they're still tax-free if bought within the period. Watch out for extra charges like shipping as they count toward the total price. For example, jeans at $95 with a $10 delivery fee will be taxable since the total exceeds $100. If you accidentally pay on qualifying items, you can request a refund from the seller or file a claim directly with the comptroller's office.
The full list of items that qualify for the tax exemption for the upcoming tax-free weekend is extensive. You can head to KSAT.com right now for more details from the Texas Comptroller's Office. Ivan Herrera, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Ivan. Well, yesterday, lawmakers in the Texas House and Senate introduced bills to scrap the state's standardized tests. So both House Bill 8 and Senate Bill 8 would replace STAR with 3 shorter tests to be administered at the beginning, middle, and end of the school year.
So the year-end test would be the only mandatory exam. Under the proposed legislation, standardized testing would continue to be a big metric in calculating school performance under Texas AF school ratings system.
The legislation would also solidify the Texas Education Agency Commissioner as the sole authority to refresh those standards.
All right, well, guess who's picking up the tab for the next breakfast taco run or the next 100 runs, perhaps? That would be Spurs point guard De'Aaron Fox, who reportedly has signed the richest contract in Spurs team history.
Yes, that would be nice, by the way. Yeah. It's a reported 4-year, $229 million max contract deal that keeps Fox with the Spurs until 2030. So the Spurs traded for Fox last season to team up the All-Pro guard with Victor Wembanyama and Steph Castle.
One, going into my third contract, obviously a lot of guys don't get to make it here. Going into year 9 is something that's extraordinary in itself, but being able to do it here, being able to do it for such a storied franchise, for me is just a blessing, and I appreciate them believing in me, and I'm just ready to, have a full healthy season.
So Fox averaged about 20 points and 7 assists last season with the Spurs, but had season-ending finger surgery, so that cut his time with his new team.
I think what'll be different going forward is fans are going to see me play with 10 fingers. Obviously, health-wise, last year was definitely different.
The Spurs and De'Aaron Fox will start preseason play October 6th against the team from China at the Frostbank Center. So go Spurs, go.
Yeah, the Spurs go. Well, not everyone is for Project Marvel, and they're making it known. So later this morning, the public can give their opinion on the new Spurs Arena at the Commissioners Court meeting. So the proposed downtown sports and entertainment district would include a new arena for the Spurs. Several groups, including Cops Metro and Domestica Unidas, are asking for a renewed community-centered review process on that project. They have concerns about infrastructure and cost. Well, also today, the Texas Veterans Commission and Workforce Solutions Alamo, they are hosting a construction industry job fair and career expo. That event's going to run from now to noon at the Workforce Solutions Alamo O'Connor Career Center.
Veterans were able to get early access this morning at 8 o'clock. More than 30 employers from skilled trades and project management to safety and accounting will be on hand to meet with job seekers. Attendees can expect interviews to be held right there on site, and some job offers and apprenticeships might be extended during the event. So good luck.
Time now is 9:38. We're at 80 degrees for now. You are watching GMSA at 9.
All right, still ahead, if you're looking for a free spot for your kiddos to have some more fun before school starts, after the break, we'll tell you where and what you need to know.
Well, welcome back. It's 9:42, and as the start of a new school year approaches, kids may be wanting to soak in that last bit of the summer days that they have.
Yep, and there's a place they can do that for free. The best part is when school does start, they can find free tutoring there as well. Patty Santos explains.
Something has to be minus.
These kids are practicing their math skills and having a good time.
I do math.
That's what's been happening at the Cortez Library on the South Side this summer.
We have had approximately a bajillion people come through for the summer.
Librarian Linda Childs is joking, of course, but she has noticed more visitors.
Fox paint, fox paint.
Teacher and mother Kathy Rosales says her kids don't mind hanging out with her at the library.
When I was younger, we used to walk across to this library and have a reading, like listen to a story and things like that. And I've actually told them about my experiences as a child. And, you know, the love for reading is built early on.
There's educational computer games. At this library, a teen gaming station, and all libraries offer tutoring once kids start school.
You're here at the library's homepage, mysapl.org, and then you go to services.
It's hot. There's another reason to come to the library, right?
It's a cool place to be when you don't want to be outdoors in that sun.
Awesome. Well, good luck in the school year, and good luck keeping these kids, entertained, not only your kids, but your kids at school.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
It's good to take a break in the AC and maybe learn something while we're doing that. Yeah.
Yes.
Especially this time of year.
There's, more to do than just, as she showed you, just reading books in the libraries these days, and they provide a cool spot. So
yeah.
Great place to be, and with the heat the way it is, it's a good place you want to find. I want to show you the tropics, guys, and what's going on there. This is really a pretty quiet situation if you're looking at the big picture here, but there are a couple places we got to point out. So we got Dexter here, which is starting to fall apart. We got a wave coming off the coast of Africa, and we talked a little bit about this yesterday, so it's kind of emerging now in the Atlantic. There's not much to it yet, but as it gets into an area that's more conducive, there could be some development. And then, of course, the other spot is some development potentially. They're off the coast of Georgia and Florida. We shall see. They've raised the odds of development there to 40%. So they're becoming increasingly confident that we'll get something to develop here. And I think that is worth watching, especially for Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas in the coming days. This one needs to be watched too, but we have a lot of time to watch it. And just the way things are looking, this would probably take a turn to the north, but no guarantee. We don't have a system yet, as we pointed out yesterday. So let's wait and see. This area just off the west coast of Mexico, up to a 90% chance. Then we got Henriette, which is moving harmlessly out over the Pacific, and it will continue to do so. All right, back here at home, 100-degree days. We have had 9 so far this year, if you're keeping tally at home. Last year, total, we had 27. I don't think we'll get to that number this year. I think that would be pretty hard to do. Never say never. We still have a lot of August and some September to get through, but I'm feeling confident that we'll be okay. We are going to put together probably a few more days this week where we'll get 100 or above. But the average last 100-degree day, if you, again, crunch the numbers, is August 26th. Does that mean that will be our last 100-degree day? No, that's just an average, but it just goes to show you once we get towards the end of August and early September, like we talked about last half hour, September, and certainly by October, you start to see the cooler weather coming in. So we're not far away, I promise. This forecast, I know it doesn't feel that way, but we'll get there. 99 Wednesday, 100 Thursday, 101 Friday, 100 Saturday. It is going to be a hot week with averages there in the upper 90s. Water vapor satellite shows we do have our heat high that is drifting a little bit closer. These orange colors, kind of this copper color here, that is drier air. And we saw that move in this morning, kind of around this ridge high pressure, which we had some storms yesterday, but now that it's closer, we're getting more stable air sitting over top of us, and that's going to keep it, again, quiet today and really through the foreseeable future. Dew points were lower this morning. It felt good if you went outside. We had some low 70s. The air felt kind of dry. It was really a pretty nice morning, but dew points are now rebounding, and we're back in the mid-60s, and it's starting to feel a little more muggy out there, and we're starting to see some 70s too. I mean, you talk about mid-70s here at Carrizo Springs and Cotulla. It's unfortunate that they have some of the highest dew points because they will also see some of the highest temperatures this afternoon, and they're already looking at a heat index of 93 in Cotulla, 90 in Carrizo Springs, 95 in Freer. That's rough, and you do start to drift into that danger zone where you can get heat indices 105 plus here later today. We'll keep an eye on it. But here in San Antonio, I think your heat index is going to be more in the order of 100 to 103. And that's once we get into the afternoon with a high temperature, somewhere around 98, I think. We probably will come up just shy of 100, but it doesn't matter because that humidity makes it feel all that much worse. Triple digits are a good bet later this week, and there are some very small rain chances mixed in there. We're talking Wednesday and Monday, but this would be nothing more than a stray shower coming off the Gulf, and those usually don't do much for us. So a very summer-like forecast after what has been a pretty good summer for us.
Very hot. So only wear the PJs indoors with the AC on.
Right. Yes. And if you happen to be hosting a lifestyle show, I mean, the three ladies who are okay to sleep on the job today.
Yes, we are.
How do I get that gig?
Right.
It is.
Right.
That's good for sleep. Yes. Good for sleep. And that's what we're all about today is sleep. And we've got the brain coach, Dr. Punjabi, joining us to tell us how it affects your brain and why sleep is so important for so many things, right?
Well, actually, lack of sleep can prevent you from losing weight. It can cause cortisol levels. It can even cause diabetes. There is possibility of near-death experiences. We've actually had a person died. He stayed awake for a soccer game and then had a traumatic brain injury, coronary heart attack. So what we find is that if you don't sleep, you're 4 times higher likely chance of having a heart attack. So sleep deprivation is a really big deal. It stops executive function. You're able to not articulate as well, and you can even start to see things that are not there.
Oh, okay. See, this, y'all see why we're doing the show now.
Yeah.
Okay, lots.
This is our public service.
Yes, and also we've got my girl Valerie from Let's Launch Beverages. Hey girl, tell us all about yourself.
Hey, so I'm Valerie. We are a functional wellness brand. We're the only non-alcoholic retailer here in San Antonio, and we brought a couple of options that are ready to drink, and we'll also show you how to make the Sleepy Girl mocktail.
So excited about that. I love all of what you have to offer, and I can't wait to enter into a sleepy, well-rested state.
Yes.
After the show.
That's right. So much of what you do as you head into your bedtime can help you sleep. Yeah. So we went out to Soul Fit. Yes, okay.
There we are.
And we tried out yoga that will help your body kind of wind down.
Yes.
So we just called it Sleepy Time Yoga.
Yep, Jason,
and I gotta tell
let us roll with it.
Wait till you see how effective it was, okay?
Yes.
And then we went around the station to ask some of our favorite coworkers about their sleep struggles and remedies. You are not gonna wanna miss what they had to say.
What did TikTok Pat say? That's what I wanna know.
That's what everybody's holding their breath on. Okay.
Oh, yep, and then I went to go get tested for sleep apnea, you guys, and I learned so much at the Sleep Therapy and Research Center. I talked to the doctors, all the specialists there. You guys got to get a tour of the place and find out if I spent the night there, went home, all the devices. Can't wait to show you guys more.
Oh, sleep apnea. That's something. Did you think you had that? Or
Well, I snore, and apparently that is a huge indicator. So,
okay, we'll find out. Stay tuned. All that and much more coming up right here. I know I'm tired.
Back on GMSA at 9, people are feeling the pinch, especially at the grocery store right now. A new poll shows more than half say rising food prices are a major source of stress. Nearly half also say housing costs are weighing them down. And many younger Americans are turning to buy now, pay later services just to cover basics like food and medical care. Money-saving experts say eliminating grocery delivery services, buying in bulk for staple items, and using your grocery store's app can help you save some cash.
We actually think that you can lower your expense by $350 a month or $4,200 a year.
With the ongoing trade war escalating, some economists warn that prices could keep climbing on everything from produce to cars.
And there is a new option for families on the move, and some airports are adopting family-friendly security changes in a push to make travel less stressful for people flying with kids. So the TSA's new Families on the Fly campaign is geared towards groups traveling with kids 12 and under and creates dedicated security lanes for families, discounts on TSA pre-check, and a dedicated pre-check security line for military families.
What we're seeing is an expedited process for the families, but then you're also seeing that our normal lines are going a little bit quicker too, because there's not any holdup with having to check children.
Well, the program, which saw a limited launch in July, is now expanding to include major vacation destinations like Orlando, Orange County, California, and Honolulu. It is the second big change to TSA's policy this summer, and last month, airports did away with forcing passengers to take off their shoes at security. Well, now the latest in Hollywood.
Yeah, so here's ABC's Melissa Don with that.
What you think? I think you gotta be a little crazy sometimes in this world to get what you want.
Spike Lee is getting ready to release his next movie, Highest to Lowest. Just got its first trailer. It stars Denzel Washington as a high-powered music executive who gets targeted by a ransom plot. Look for it in select theaters starting August 15th.
Is that a...
Don't worry, they're both all gender.
It's time to throw some burgers on the grill with the Hill family again. King of the Hill is back with new episodes for the first time since 2010. Pamela Adlon voices Bobby in the show and tells ABC Audio,
even though it takes place in the middle of America, in the South, our fans are from all over the world and they're rabid about it.
All 10 episodes can be streamed on Hulu. Doechii is going on tour. The Grammy winner behind hits like Anxiety and Nissan Altima will kick off a series of 12 shows this fall starting in Chicago. And happy birthday to James Gunn, the director of blockbuster superhero movies like Guardians of the Galaxy, The Suicide Squad, and most recently Superman is 59. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Melissa Don, ABC News, Los Angeles.
All right, I watched the first 2 episodes of King of the Hill. Pretty good. I like how they,
Bobby,
kept the story going.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, propane is still essential.
Yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate that.
Yes.
All right, 98 degrees today, 99 coming up tomorrow. Triple digits Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's a hot, pretty much quiet forecast going forward.
Like propane.
Yes,
very good.
And propane
That's a good one.
Okay, very good. On to sleepy time with the ladies at SA Live. Have a great day.
Today, you guys, we are sinking into something that we wish we all had more of. Yeah. Sleep! All right, you guys, good morning. I am Jada Pickett.
I'm Jen Tobias-Dresky.
And I'm Fiona Gorstiza, and this is our SA Live Sleep Show. And whether you are clocking in 8 beautiful hours or more, or barely scraping by with 4 or 5, sleep affects everything, like energy and focus and all of the above, right, you guys?
Yeah. All right, yes, and we've got the whole bed here on set thanks to our friends at Cantwell Mattress Company. So you know it's serious. We're talking comfy beds, what to wear. These are really comfy. Walmart,
yes,
thank you.
Shout out to Walmart. Can we do a show like this every day?
Look, we got our little hoods too.
Yes, and how to detect, let me put this on. If you have sleep apnea, which Jada is something you were worried about, right?
Very much so,
Yes.
because apparently, allegedly, I snore.
Oh, okay. So, okay.
Allegedly.
Well, so you're going to find that out. We're going to learn more about that a little bit later, but also some sleep tech that uses AI as well.
Yeah.
I'm very intrigued.
I am too, yeah. So, but first what we want you guys to do is to scan the QR code to answer our question of the day. We got to know, how many hours of sleep are you guys getting?
How many hours of sleep are you getting, Fiona?
4 to 5, if I'm lucky.
Okay, all right. What
I
about you,
want to say
Jimbo?
maybe 6.
Yeah, you're pretty good about going to bed
6, 7
on time.
But
and
it
early.
takes me time to fall asleep. So
That's
even
my
if
problem.
Even if I
See,
get into bed, it takes.
And then like morning person or night person? Are you